Hi, my name is Christina and I own Sandsational Travel. We specialize in immersing our clients in rich culture, tantalizing cuisine, and warm hospitality of each locale. Today, I have a special treat for you all. I will be speaking with Callie from Riverside Cruises, Luxury Cruises, excuse me. We are going to speak about the elevated experience that Riverside has to offer. Callie, welcome. It is so nice to have you here today, and I'm excited to be able to share with my clients the ins and outs of Riverside.
Thank you so much for having me, Christina. I'm really excited to talk not only about Riverside Luxury Cruises, but river cruising in general.
Of course. So, I just want to start off by saying that I have never been on an ocean cruise or a river cruise before. So, to say that I'm excited that my husband and I will have the chance to sail May 28th through June 4th of 2025 on the romantic Rhine Southbound is an understatement. When I found out that I was, going on this cruise, I told my grandmother, who is from Germany, and I told her that I was doing a post-travel stay in her hometown of Germany. And her words to me were, I never thought one of my grandchildren would be visiting where I grew up. So with that being said, this cruise and experience is going to be life-changing for me. And I think that is what is so amazing about travel is it can truly alter you in many ways that you can never imagine. So for my clients, Callie, who have never been on a river cruise, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to speak with someone direct from Riverside so that we can hear all about the amazing cruise line. So we're going to jump in, and my first question is going to be, when did Riverside make its debut into the luxury cruise line industry?
Riverside Luxury Cruises, and don't forget, luxury is our middle name. We debuted as a brand in March of 2023. So we're the new kid on the block. We just started last year, and we're really up and going. This year, 2024, has been our first true full year of sailing. We've got 3 ships on the rivers in Europe. We're sailing on the Rhine River, the Moselle and Main rivers, on the Danube, and on the Rhone and Saône rivers in France. So we really just got started last year, but these ships are not brand new. They actually sailed with a company previously who went under during the pandemic. That would be Crystal Cruises. Many know that brand as being the top luxury brand for not only river, but ocean, expedition, etc. So we are a new company that purchased these ships, and we'll be sailing 3 of them the next few years. We'll add the other 2 to our fleet later on. But we really want to take what they did really well and the expectation and standards they set as being the true luxury line on the rivers and meet that and go above and beyond. And so far, it's been pretty great feedback we've been receiving in just the year plus that we've been sailing.
I'm so happy to hear that. That's amazing. So for someone who has never experienced a luxury cruise line like myself, or just a cruise in general, what should they expect with you guys?
Well, I will say ocean and river are quite different from each other. So I mean I can speak much better to river cruising in general, but what river cruising allows you to do is really immerse yourself into a country. So you're not just, arriving to a country and taking little excursions here and there. It's definitely part of that, but you're in a situation where you're traveling along the river, on the river, seeing these familiar and also hidden towns along the way, just for a really unique perspective of Europe, especially in the case of Riverside, since we're only sailing European rivers for the moment, at least. So, it's a great way, again, to see other destinations you may be familiar with or have visited, but from a different point of view. And then, we can, of course, speak to the shore excursions at some point. About how different shore excursions that we offer further elevate that really unique feeling that you get. So river cruising is really awesome for a huge fact, and that is because you get to see all these places and unpack your bag one time. It's pretty awesome when you
Yes.
want to see a lot of places, but you don't have to go through that hassle of setting up the transfers, figuring out where you're going, the time also that it takes time, the effort, the money to transfer from one town to another, one hotel to another when you're doing a land-based trip. So here it really cuts that out, and it's an efficient and really fun way to travel. So unpacking your bag once, you still get to see all the sites and really make it your own, because especially with Riverside, you can expect a lot of flexibility and your own say in exactly the experience you want to curate for yourself. So that goes from dining experiences to the shore excursions and onboard experiences that you can participate in. But it's an up and coming way to travel. I mean, river cruising is absolutely exploding right now, because of all those reasons, the
Yeah.
unique perspective, the ease of in which you're traveling. And again, no, you don't have to book multiple hotel nights. You know where you're staying every night, which is it's really reassuring in that way too. And so it's great for first time cruisers, river cruisers. It's great for first time travelers to Europe too.
Absolutely. I love the idea of just having to unpack and unpack that one time once you get on,
Yeah.
and not having to worry about, doing that every other night or whatnot. So yeah, that makes total sense and I love it. So since you brought up the land excursions, why don't we move into that and talk more about what a guest on board or what they will experience when it comes to the romantic Rhine southbound excursions.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of really fantastic excursions in place, and really unique as well. One thing that we're very much striving to do as a company is really stand out in the excursion space, not only with the unique offerings, but the timing of offerings as well. This can be a pretty busy itinerary. There's a lot to see in all these towns along the way, yet we also want to make sure that you as a guest are enjoying your time on the ship.
Mhm.
We have a spa on board, getting your spa treatments, enjoying the pool, enjoying the beautiful spaces, and really using it as a floating hotel, which some guests like to do. And others might want to just take a bike off the ship and explore on their own, which is great as well. But our excursions, you can expect them to be small groups. The maximum is around 15 guests per group. So even if 100 guests on board want to do the same excursion, they're going to be divided into smaller
Oh,
groups to
okay.
really keep the small, intimate groups.
Right.
And they'll be accompanied by a Riverside staff member as well. So there's always a contact. And we're sourcing the best guides, and we're trying to work with the best tour companies that we can out there. So you can expect things, especially on this itinerary, which I just did the opposite direction from Basel, Switzerland to Amsterdam in the Netherlands.
Mhm.
You can expect a lot of great things going on there. You're not only going through, Germany with beer, especially Cologne, the Kolsch beer tastings and that beer scene, but through numerous vineyards as well, and different styles of wines that you wouldn't normally taste in the US. I mean, we went to a couple wineries where they don't sell to the US market, so you get a special taste and a very hyper localized as well. So I'm touching on some culinary aspects. Well, we want to offer a variety of excursions in every single port. And that means you could be doing an excursion in the morning and afternoon, if you want to have a full day. And so, between something culinary focused, like wine tasting, winery tour, or beer, maybe it's a walking tour with, a tasting as well, a cooking class, but also cultural tours like museum tours, for example, or maybe it's part sightseeing, and then an active tour, anywhere from more moderate, like biking, like walking, to more intensive, maybe a more intensive hiking, biking, or kayaking tour. So that's still going to vary
Okay.
depending on the itineraries. And for this particular one, we don't at this moment on September 9th have that 100% firm, but it will be there very soon. Just making sure that like I said, that we are making sure that we've got the best guides, the best timings, and everything laid out. So there's also the castles that I want to mention on this
Yes.
itinerary.
Castles. Go ahead. Go for it.
Oh, well, I
Yeah.
believe there's around 40. And what I really
Wow.
appreciated is that the every evening before dinner, they're going to have a little kind of check-in with our amazing shore excursions manager to kind of discuss about the shore excursions and what to expect for the following day, so that you are prepared. All your answers, our questions are answered, you know, what to wear, the duration, what to expect, etc. So they really prepped us for this. And in our rooms the night before, we received this packet full of colored photos, descriptions, names, and a map of all the castles that we were going to see along the way. And it was really neat to see, because there are a lot. And we were just, all of us were on the top vista deck like this, enjoying lunch, back and
Yeah.
forth. Oh my God, take a picture.
Oh,
Look at this
wow.
one. And it was really, really beautiful, because you're going through the Rhine Gorge. You hear this story of Lorelei, which I'll let them tell you, but it's a really unique area. And seeing all those castles and the towns and the vineyards and just the hills, that is that picturesque idea that you've got of sailing down the Rhine River, you know, seeing those castles dotted along the hillsides. And one of my favorite parts, and I'm really happy that, you know, of course, they're organizing the sailing part during the day where you're going to be seeing that. And there's even a part where they'll be explaining, you know, what to look out for. And then the opportunity to go further into town and either explore maybe one of the castles or explore one of the towns further as well. So
That's
there's a lot to do.
Yes, that sounds amazing, and I got goosebumps while you were talking about the
Oh.
castles, because I cannot wait to experience that, because I for myself never thought I would be experiencing something like that. So
Yeah.
to know that that is in the future for me, I cannot wait. So
I mean, and it's like a fairy tale. We were all just like, pinch me. I can't
absolutely.
believe we're on this infamous river in this part that's been such a huge part of history, and you're seeing these incredible buildings. I mean, for American travelers especially, I think it really upholds that fairy tale kind of nostalgic you know, idea that you've got, and it's just gorgeous.
Yeah. Thank you for giving
Yeah.
me for presenting it in a way that I can picture it. And
Yeah.
all of you who are watching this can just, you know, use the words that Callie was presenting and just really picture that in your mind and you seeing yourself in that place. So my next question is, actually we already touched on that, but what are gratuities included in this cruise?
They are.
Okay.
One thing that makes us stand out is that gratuities are included for all guests on land, which includes your driver and your guides, and on on board as well. So that's a huge plus. The
Yes.
price you see listed, what you're paying, you don't have to think, oh, you know, calculate, well, if it's this blah 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 many per day, whatever. You don't have to think about that. You can really set it and forget it, knowing that what you pay is, you know, you're covered. There are some exclusions and some optional items that you can pay for, of course, but for the main all-inclusive cruise price, it's all included. So it's a big peace of mind knowing that ahead of time.
All right, let's actually make our way back into the gastronomy part of it.
Oh yes,
You
my favorite food.
exactly, that's what brings it all to life when going on such an experience like this. When it comes to, well, let's talk about food allergies, and then you can also tell us a little
Mhm.
bit about the gastronomy.
So rest assured, if you've got any type of food allergies, requirements, preferences, whatever, we can meet those. What is really important, however, is please let us know in advance. We want to make sure that it's in your reservation so that the staff can prepare accordingly. And just so that in advance of the cruise, of course, you know, they will be checking in with you as well once on board. And you can always, you know, don't hesitate to state your preferences, but they will know in advance as long as you give us that information in advance. But we can accommodate pretty much anything there. So it just has to be communicated, but it absolutely is more than possible.
Perfect. And what can a excuse me, what can someone on board expect when it comes to the type of food that the type of food that they would be experiencing?
Honestly, you can expect Michelin star quality dining. I have been blown away at the feedback that we've been getting. And I will say, especially on the Debussy that you'll be on this itinerary, the Debussy actually was debuted this year. That team on board, they've been killing it. And I think a lot of it has to do with the amazing itineraries, but the staff on board, they're so passionate. They're incredible. And that absolutely spills over into the culinary space, which Riverside Luxury Cruises really wants to be known as. And I'm really happy to share with you that we, in only just a year and a few months of sailing, have already met the expectations that we had set out with as being known as the river cruise line for foodies, for culinary enthusiasts, for wine lovers, because of a lot of reasons. We're spending twice the amount per guest on every sailing to source quality food and beverage. There are more, the galleys, the kitchen areas in our ships were purposefully built larger, which is why we have fewer guests on board and fewer staterooms than other lines, which we can address later. But because the kitchens, the galleys are larger, that means there's more chefs on board that can hone in on their crafts. So they really have the space and the equipment to do so. Everything is made to order. Nothing is pre-made and like reheated. I did a galley tour on my cruise I was just on in August, where the executive chef showed off all this amazing equipment he loved, but he also said that screen right there, that is exactly where the waiter inputs your food order. So they're waiting for that order. And as soon as they see it, that's when they start preparing it, because they know that everyone's individualized. Even has your picture next to it and all the requirement, the preferences, whatnot, the notes, if there are any. So they take it very seriously. And with that money to source fresh local ingredients, I mean, they're going out to markets, local markets and ports. I even had the executive chef on one of my cruises last year come with me to a vineyard, like winery tasting / tour. And she sourced the wine for dinner that night for all the guests. I mean, so we're doing stuff like that, where you're really tasting where you are. It's all about local cuisine, and sometimes it's got a little bit of a riverside flair as well. But at this end of the day too, you can get whatever you want. If what's on the menu that night or that day isn't really speaking to you, you can just order burger and fries, regular, chicken dinner with vegetables, whatever it is. Ask and you shall receive, because anything is possible. But it is really unique and special to be enjoying the meals and the foods and the flavors and the tastes of the region that you're sailing through. So we're killing it on that front, and it is so fun to hear what people say about the food. I've just heard rave reviews saying it's definitely already the best food on the rivers, and maybe on any kind of ship, period. So that's due to having an incredible kitchen staff and executive chefs. And it's worth noting as well that several of those chefs, as well as other senior positions and other staff members on board who were previously with Crystal Cruises, are with us again as well, because these ships themselves even stand for a certain level of standards and luxury. So I could go on and on about food. A couple other things that I do want to point out that are unique is that there are no set dining times.
Oh, okay.
And there are no assigned dining tables. So you might find that on other lines. And it's more common, I think, with ocean, but you don't have to worry if you're going to be stuck with the same people every day. If you want to do your own thing, or, eat with new friends, sure, you can do that, and you can go whenever you want. There are restaurant hours, but they're listed and very clear to see. And then if you don't want to eat at one of the restaurants, then you can always get room service delivered. So that's an option as well. And we've got something called the bistro, which is this area. It's kind of a cafe vibe in the middle of the ship. So you can get gelato there, a specialty coffee. They make bubble waffles. You can get your lunch there. They actually can even do omelets and things back there. But every day they're going to set some items out, some breakfast items in the morning, especially for those late risers, or maybe for people like me, for example. I don't want a huge breakfast, but
Right.
like some fruit, some protein, whatever it is. You can grab that. So you've got fruit, yogurt, granola, pastries. And then in the afternoon, they change the items like pretzels, charcuterie, etc. So there's always something out. You will never go hungry. And that is out until about dinner time. One other thing I was going to say, what was it? We have a lot of just really unique things about the dining space. So lots to cater to any type of guest preferences, needs, multiple dining venues. We even have a specialty dining venue.
Oh,
This
okay.
is an additional cost per person, but this is a very amazing experience, and it truly is an experience. Depending on how chatty your group is, I mean, this could be 3, 4 hours. This experience in the vintage room, you would note it in your reservation, say, I would like to do this at some point. And then once, closer to the sailing, the staff on board determines which night might be best based on the tours and everything and how many guests would like to partake. It can seat 10 guests, and it's a 7-course meal with wine pairing. So the sommelier is coming to speak about every single wine or champagne that you're drinking, the stories, the history, the meaning behind it all. And then for every course, the executive chef is coming out to talk about his or her creations. So it's really a special opportunity, great for a special occasion or to experience fine dining, whether you've done so before or not.
And it is a beautiful space. I saw
Yeah.
pictures of it, and it looks very exquisite and luxurious. I would love to experience something like that, and I'm sure others
Yeah.
will. So thank you for describing all of that. And I'm also
Yeah.
super excited for the food and
Yeah.
the coffee whenever I want, and I don't
Yep.
have to make it. So that's
Yeah, and to note as well, there's a coffee machine area by the front desk. So you can get your own, it's a, latte or whatever, a machine
yeah.
or hot tea for tea or hot water, excuse me, for tea. And then we have a little refrigerator with still and sparkling bottled water, so you can go, grab and go for your excursions. And then of course they always set up little pastries and things. That was the other thing I wanted to mention is that all of our breads, pastries, and pastas are handmade on ship.
Can't not wait for that.
And my favorite part, I think I still am wanted to show pictures and do an
Yeah.
ode to butter post because the butter with the fresh baked bread
Mhm.
was my
I
favorite
hear
thing
all
ever.
about the European butter, and it sounds amazing.
Oh, they whip it and they make it look just beautiful. And every night there's a special infused butter
Okay.
to accompany your rolls. And some of the rolls might be, with sun-dried tomatoes or olive or with cheese or the big chunks of salt. You have your preference, of course, every time.
Yeah.
And then the butter is just so fun to try. It's some truffle infused, maybe herb infused, orange infused. I could go on and on, but it's really special. It's fun to hear what people are drawn to. Sometimes it's the ice cream, the gelato case, or
Yeah.
having their bubble waffle every day, or something like that. But like even in the kitchen for breakfast, we have a honeycomb that's like this large,
Wow.
dripping down into a little dish. So you can have fresh honey. Everything's fresh.
Wow.
And it's just so fun to eat and try stuff.
Absolutely. Thank you for really describing all of that. It sounds like along with all the experience and excursions that this luxury cruise line is for a foodie. And
Totally.
yeah, and it's perfect for many of my clients who want to go on a trip like this and experience some amazing food while traveling. So thank you for going over
Absolutely.
that. Um,
Yeah,
let's
you
talk a
bet.
little bit about the ship and
Yeah.
what guests can expect of the ship. I've looked at pictures of the rooms, the decor, and everything looks so beautiful, well decorated. But specifically on the Debussy, what is the capacity and what can people expect on there?
Yeah. Oh, this ship, it's so beautiful and it's very similar to our other ships as well. So they're all gorgeous and this one and its sister ship, the Riverside Revel that sails in France, they're identical basically to each other. And they were built in 2018, so they actually barely even were on the waters, before COVID hit, and then we got got them on the rivers. They're gorgeous ships, very modern look and design. And the one thing I mentioned earlier is we've got larger staterooms. So we have larger staterooms on board, meaning less guests. So we have a total of 110 guests is what the maximum is. 55 suites, with the highest crew to guest ratio, 2 to 1 for every guest, 2 staff for every guest. And then one thing to put that into perspective, that will help put that into perspective, is that ships of the same size, and this is the standard river cruise ship size that all the other lines have as well,
Okay.
fit between 130 to 190 guests. So again, we have a maximum of 110 guests. You really see that difference, again, not only in the suite space because they're larger, and we do call all of our rooms or cabins suites, but also in the public spaces. Lots of places to go and enjoy the views and to just hang out and lounge and be pampered. Yeah, that's a huge piece. And another thing is that each suite has butler service. Every suite gets a butler service. And what can your butler do? Well, your butler can help you unpack your bag. They can help you pack your bag. They can work with you to make sure that anything in your mini fridge in your room is to your liking. You know, maybe you want a Diet Coke in your fridge every time you return from a shore excursion or something like that. They can do that. For example, I drink a ton of water, and they have the refillable filtered glass bottles that they'll provide in your
Oh,
room,
I
as
love
well as
that.
yeah, and as well as plastic. So I just would fill up, for example, my own water bottle. I know a lot of people ask about that if they don't want to use plastic bottles.
Right.
So there's also small glass bottles in your room, and then a larger one that you can fill up. So I said, I just drink a lot of water. Can you just make sure I've got enough in my room? And I drink tea. I don't drink coffee. And every room has an espresso machine in them as well. So that's great for when you
Yeah.
want to just make a little drink on your own. So for me as a tea lover, they brought me a tea kettle, and I just kept it in my room the whole time. And they every day would bring me a new teapot and a selection of teas,
Wow.
and then honey as well. So I really appreciated that. Other things I've heard, I know that one time something happened with someone's room and they had to move, but they were on an excursion or something. They moved, when they got back, they went to their new stateroom, and everything was exactly as they had it in
Wow.
their previous room. They must have taken a picture and placed everything exact. So no hassle at all. You can truly use butler and the room stewardess's assistance for anything. Even working with them to, set up your room service. Maybe you want your breakfast delivered at 6:30 a.m. to your room every morning. Things like that. Absolutely, they can do. So you got your butler service, your mini fridge, desk area, and your drink station all set there.
Okay.
And one of the best parts about this ship is that you cannot go wrong with where you are. Doesn't matter, where you're placed. You, first of all, no worries about water, seasickness. You can barely even tell when the ship is moving.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's something to note because some are very concerned about that, but you don't notice this. And all of the suites are on decks 2 or deck 3. So you're well above the water level. You're not even close. You won't even be able to tell. So apart from that, every single suite has a panoramic French balcony window. So you push a button and it comes down from the top.
Oh, wow. Oh,
And you
no.
can even push a button for a screen. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to keep your window open, but you didn't want any bugs or anything to fly
Right.
in, you could do that. And then we'll have to show a picture and make sure that that's highlighted when you're sharing about this. It's something where you could just lean on, drink your coffee, drink your
Oh,
tea, and enjoy the sights. It's really nice. So every single suite has that.
that sounds
That's
amazing. And
it's just it's easy. I mean, you can't go wrong. You'll be comfortable.
absolutely. And I think that's the important part of being in a luxury space as well. As far as Riverside goes, you guys, it sounds like, are paying attention to every sort of detail, making your guests
Yes,
very special.
absolutely. You will feel pampered. They want to pamper you. They live to pamper you, this staff. They want to make sure that you're comfortable, that you've got what you need. So, you know, and because this is a luxury experience, it might be a little harder at times to like let go and let people do things for you. I just want to point that out because I've been on a few cruises and hosting with travel advisors, like Christina, and it's a different level of experience. And you know, you gotta just let go and let people do things for you. It's try it if you haven't. But and maybe you're used to it and
Yeah.
and then you'll love it because you don't have to pick up a thing and you drop your fork, someone is right there to pick it up. You don't want to put your clothes away or whatever,
Yeah.
throw your towel around. Fine, that's fine. They want to help you and they will do everything they can to help and just make you feel special. And not only that, but you really get to know this incredible staff. They're really friendly. They're from all over, a lot of them from mostly Eastern Europe. And so it's so fun to talk to them and hear their stories and get to know them. And by the end of it, you really feel sad to leave. You'll miss your new friends and you know, that's a whole other part of the experience is getting to know them. The bartenders, of course, as you can imagine, are incredible and really, really connect and bond with the guests as well. And I mean, everybody does, but the staff is amazing and they are a well-oiled machine already. And you really see that they work together very closely and as a family. And their job is to strive to be excellent and give you what you want and make your trip memorable and so special.
Well, I haven't even sailed yet, and I am already dreading my last day
Oh,
on the
yeah.
cruise. So, yeah,
Oh, you'll love it. So
yeah,
soak in every moment,
yeah,
every moment.
absolutely. Well, I want to also talk about the pricing structure that you guys have on board. Can you talk a little bit about the four-tier pricing structure?
Yeah.
And I know that, you know, there's something for every guest. And so, yeah, let's go over that.
Yeah, great point. And one thing I just want to go back really quick about this,
Of course.
the suites, that I forgot to mention that is a big deal. Every suite has a king bed.
Oh,
You
okay.
don't see that on every river cruise ship. And it can be separated as well. So if you wanted that, and we have a number of connecting options too. So whatever, you know, maybe you're family traveling together, or you've got a nanny and or something joining, you can have connecting rooms. You know, maybe you just want two rooms and to totally have your own space. So, and the other part I wanted to say about that is that we've got Natura Bissé luxury bath products in the bathrooms. This is a luxury Spanish brand of products that are incredible. And even the feedback on those, I personally love it. I can't believe I haven't bought a bottle of it yet, but the lotion and the shampoo, conditioner, the body wash or a hand soap, all really nice, really delicate smell. You know, sometimes you go to the hotels, they have crazy scents. Let's just say it like wild. You don't want that. Or, you know, but these are nice, really good quality products. Also, they use the Natura Bissé products in the spa.
That's
So, which is one of the onboard experiences you can have. So, okay, speaking of the different tiers, we're doing something a little bit different than other lines in offering a four-tiered pricing structure. Why? Well, this is kind of coming down from our parent company model, this European hotel model. Our parent company is a European hotelier based out of Germany. So they've got 11 luxury properties in Europe and one in the Maldives. And fun fact, the spa staff are actually trained at the resort in the Maldives that you have on board.
wow.
So yeah, so that, you know, but what it really comes down to is flexibility. What do you want as a traveler? What are your goals? This is an all-inclusive product, and most guests really want that. They want to be able to, you know, like I said before, set it and forget it. Pay and know that you don't have to worry about, oh, how much is this drink going to cost? And, you know, all of that at the end of your cruise. You don't want to worry about that. You just want to enjoy. So that's why most guests want that. And that's what we suggest, because then absolutely everything is included. The only things not included would be a spa treatment or dinner in the vintage room. And there are also like specialty bottles of wine and alcohol that you can purchase. But yeah, so one thing I do want to say too about these packages before I break them down is that every single one of them includes the gratuities on land and on the ship.
Okay.
They include transfers, day of embarkation and day of disembarkation
Okay.
to or from an airport or train station. That's what's included. If you arrived or disembarked, somewhere else or went to a hotel or a specific address, we could absolutely assist in arranging that. It would likely be an additional cost, but that's what is included. So I want to mention that.
Okay.
And then you get complimentary access to the laundry, which is big. We have laundry machines, 2 washers, 2 dryers, laundry pods, dryer sheets, a steamer, an iron, and everything. So you can do your own laundry as well, which is huge. And another thing to really make your travels easier, especially if you want to try to, do a carry-on only situation. But that's another thing you can have your butler do for you if you want to send it out.
Okay.
So all of that is included, as well as taxes,
Mhm.
service fees, and port charges. So the price you see listed is inclusive of all of that. Now, where you might want to differ, maybe you don't, okay, so maybe you want to experience everything but the shore excursions. So because, for example, we've got people that have sailed on itineraries on the Rhine, and maybe they've done this sailing before. Maybe they don't want to be too busy. They want to do their own thing. They don't want to participate in the organized group excursions. That might be a situation where you look at it and say, I want everything but the shore excursions included. Because again, that would be a choice of excursion in every single port. So you could do that, but once you're on board, we also know that people change their minds, and you might meet some new friends and say, oh, you know what, I do want to do that wine tasting on Saturday after all. Then you would just go up to shore excursions sooner than later is ideal, just so that they can give their tour operators a head up and let them know, hey, I do want to do this. And then you could just purchase that excursion a la carte. That is totally fine. Absolutely doable. Again, we know people will change their minds, and that might be something they want to do. So you can go at it from that point of view. And a lot of people want to use these ships as a floating hotel because that's what it feels like with the spa, the multiple dining rooms, the beautiful vista deck on the top deck. There's all kinds of seats up there. We even have a pop-up bar.
Wow. I saw it. It looks beautiful. It looks so beautiful.
And big green egg grills on all of our ships as well. So for al fresco dining, we know weather permitting, but so unique and special to have a lunch or dinner up there. But anytime you're up there, someone's gonna come over from the bar, or you might post up at the bar and want a drink. If it's chilly, there are blankets out there. But it's such a great place to hang out, and we felt like we really wanted to zhuzh that up since it was underutilized. So, okay, that's about, we go from the all-inclusive that includes everything to the next option down, which would include everything but the excursions.
Okay.
Maybe you don't drink alcohol, or you don't care about specialty coffees, or you want to be drinking minimally any of those types of specialty beverages. Then you could get a package that includes everything but the drinks. You could still get your shore excursions included, but for drinks, what would be included are just water, coffee, brewed coffee, and tea. And then again, anything else would be a la carte. So that is something to consider for sure for those, again, that especially don't drink alcohol, or maybe just they really don't want to pay for that. Then you can again, just purchase a la carte. The staff on board will get to know you and which package you have. So it won't be obvious to anybody else either. They'll always check in the beginning, especially as they get to know you, what's your room number? And then they'll look it up on their side, and they'll be able to, apply it to your account. So the night before you leave, you'll get your final bill to your room with any charges. And then you provide them with a credit card to begin with, and then they'll just with your confirmation, they'll charge it. So that's how that would work. But absolutely, you can do a la carte. And what that actually comes down to, if this helps put into perspective, the way that we've done this is that drinks come to 75 euro per person per day as part of the package. Which is something else. Maybe you choose the fare that includes everything but the drinks, but one day you're going to celebrate and go all out, and you want a mimosa for breakfast and beer for lunch and a pre-dinner cocktail and wine for dinner, and specialty lattes and whatever else. maybe sodas as well. Then maybe that day or for 2 days, you get the drink package. So you can just drink whatever you want, not worry about it.
Right.
That's also an option. Again, I know it sounds like a lot, but a lot of flexibility there. So keep that in mind. And then the full board option would mean simply, I love food. I don't drink. I like to explore on my own, use the ship as a floating hotel.
That's
So
yeah.
room and board.
And also, I want to say a lot of this information is going to be found on our website when it comes to this group cruise that I'm going to talk about in just a bit. But and it will go over and the way Callie broke it down for me so that you have that there and you can figure out what is best for your trip on Riverside.
Yeah.
So would you say that the majority of your guests do the premium all-inclusive and excursion option?
Yes. Yep. So premium all-inclusive, including excursions, that's the true all-inclusive fare package. Again, mostly for convenience because they want to do it all. They don't want to worry about it. They want to, they're not, they want to enjoy to the fullest and participate in that. I said the drink package comes to €75 per person per day. That's how that price is factored in. Of course, you're going to be paying in US dollars, but so it, varies, you know what I mean? A little bit between, the euros versus dollars there. But for the shore excursions, those come to €100 per person per day.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea, if you're trying to break down, well, what's the biggest difference? So yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of to explain that. But most people, they want the all-inclusive experience. However, I'm hearing more about those that are really appreciative that they have the option to not include drinks. Because then, they don't drink, they don't want to feel pressure. They just want a glass of wine at night and maybe, a Diet Coke at lunch, whatever it is.
Well, I love the options, and I'm sure there is that's why you guys have them, because it caters to all of your clients and what their needs are.
And we really believe that luxury means having a choice. And while you can see, hopefully now after what I've explained in all these areas with the food and the excursions and these packages, that you really can make it your own experience. Even, the dining, you don't have to sit, you're not restricted to anything. You can do what you want to do. Make it your own and you can change your mind.
I love it. Well, another thing Callie brought up to me was that Riverside does not have a single supplement for 2024 and 2025. That is just with the Melody and Harmony Suites, which is an amazing thing for some of my solo clients.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up, Christina. So what that means is that on this ship, on the Riverside Debussy, the Melody Suite, that's the lead-in suite category. That suite has a 0 solo supplement for solo travelers. Now there's a cap on that. Okay. So if you are interested in that, let Christina know ASAP. What that means is that you're paying the solo rate on that. Because what other lines do and what the other suite categories are the double price. You pay for the entire suite because it's based on double occupancy. Right. So this is really big, and it's an affordable way for a solo traveler to experience this. Plus get all the benefits that everybody else gets with the butler, the beautiful room, but you don't have to share your drawer space. Yeah. You can do what you want, with all that, but it's a really great feature. So that is on all of our sailings as long as there's availability, but those are flying off the shelves. So definitely let Christina know, and we can talk about, setting some of those aside as well for your group, Christina. But that's big. And, if any of you are listening who might not have a travel partner that's ready to do this with you, you don't have to wait for them. Go with Christina's group. You're going to be traveling with like-minded travelers who are just as excited to experience these destinations destinations, these excursions, each to your heart's delight as you are. And you know, you don't have to wait for that perfect time. Take advantage of this now. And know that you'll be well taken care of. You have a contact on the ship. They really they watch out for you. I mean, you're not going to be alone. We're talking about your group, but I'm just speaking more to
Yeah, of
solo travelers in
course.
general. That's a big thing too right now, you know. People
Yeah,
just saying, I'm not going to wait. I want to do this. So you can do so in a safe, fun, and an affordable way with taking
absolutely.
advantage of that solo supplement waiver.
That is so true. And while I love traveling with my husband, he can't always get away.
Yeah,
Sometimes I have to travel by myself, and honestly, I like to travel by myself sometimes.
sure.
So that's the same fact for many people out there. So this is the perfect way to do it is with Riverside.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah. So
I do think so.
I do want to put in my plug. My as Callie mentioned, and I've mentioned a little bit, is I with Sandsational Travel. So my travel agency will be hosting a group cruise with the WC from May 28th through June 4th. And it is 7 magical nights on the romantic Rhine. I don't know about you, but everyone else, this sounds like it has a nice ring to it. And what you're going to do is I'm going to be providing you with a link, and you're going to head to that link and fill out the interest form. And then from there, I will be in touch with you to get you booked on this amazing group cruise. And the way I really want to end uh, this webinar with you, Callie, is can you just tell us why Riverside?
Yeah, absolutely. Riverside is the #1 river cruise line for luxury travelers and those that really want a unique experience. We've got so many unique features on our ships and the way we're doing business that we're really standing out in this space. It's for all ages, those that really appreciate exceptional service, the details, the special touches, and you know, getting outside your comfort zone and exploring and enjoying and really you know, letting go. I mean, you get your pampering, your service from your that not only your butler but your staff on board. You're staying in luxurious accommodations that look and feel like a hotel on the water, and that really, you know, one-to-one personal attention. You don't have to worry about there being a ton of other guests on board. It's smaller, it's a more intimate way to travel and to experience Europe, and especially these towns. So you know, join Riverside if you are interested in any or all of those things. Riverside is, we're only just getting started. We can't wait to see where we go, and we want you to be part of our journey. So we hope that you can join us and join Christina's group. You will remember this forever. I can guarantee an amazing experience awaits you.
For sure. Well, thank you, Kelly, for your time. And
You're
everyone else,
welcome.
I look forward to cruising the romantic Rhine with you next late spring, summer. So thank you, Kelly.
All right. Thank you so much, Christina, for this opportunity.